This is serious. We need to talk. As AI gains steam, many creatives are asking themselves, what is the future of the creative in 2025 and beyond? For hundreds and thousands of years, society has depended on the creative to make pots, to design, to draw, to eventually photograph and make videos with their cameras and their phones and so forth. But the fact is, the future is here now. That is all changing. And it's not so much about the skill, it's about something else. And that something else is what it's always been about. However, we needed people with specific skills. And it's still important to understand the depths of your art, of drawing, design, composition, color. It is important to know those things, but the skill to implement them, well, that importance is slowly going away. But there's still that one thing. I remember years ago, there was this debate in my photographic community about a famous photographer. And the debate and the objection was that this photographer really didn't know how to use photographic equipment. They would have their assistants set up the cameras, load the film, set up all the lighting and the set, and then they would come up, look, approve, and click the shutter. What the heck? And they were one of the most famous photographers in the world, and we would debate this all the time. And I remember clearly one day, one of the older photographers coming in, someone that we thought were all in. What do you mean they don't even know how to use the equipment? But he paused and he looked at all of us and said, but this photographer has the one thing that is most important, the vision. I created a video the other day and I made a comment on it about bringing that person to life. And it was actually a model that the AI made, and then I brought that person to life and had them do certain things. And a person commented and said, that's not bringing anything to life. It's just a bunch of servers and programs. And I could hear the creative pain in this statement. But at the same time, I'm like, I remember very clearly the turn of the century when we went from analog photography to digital photography. A lot of photographers quit. A lot of photographers were saying, well, digital photography isn't real photography. However, before that, artists were telling photographers that photography was not real art. There's always a progression. And I bet you that that person who left the comment uses digital photography and uses software to create their imagery and would probably make somebody from the 1990s, a photographer from the 1990s, a designer from the 1990s, whatever art they participate in or have skill in, they would make their predecessors cringe with the tools they're using today. The only constant and the only thing we can count on is change. I am a believer that art is about the decisions you make. And you can make a lot of decisions along the way in terms of what tools you use, and they can be good or bad decisions. And if you decide to declare something art, I believe it's art. It doesn't mean it's good art, doesn't mean it's bad art. That is up to the viewer. So the tools continually evolve to support us in creating our vision. And that's what creatives will ultimately be about. People who are highly skilled, imaginative, and yes, having the skills to understand what good art is, having the skills to understand what good design is, good photography, even good programming, understanding good writing is a skill that will help you when you are working with AI in the future to ultimately create that vision for you, for your client, or for your boss. As a creative, you still have the right to use the tools you see fit to get the job done, to create that vision. Maybe it's using black and white film. Maybe it's using a tape recorder or your hands, tools that you have in your shed. It could be using a digital camera. it could be using AI to create a video clip. These are all tools that are still available to you to create that final vision. But here's the thing. I've heard it said this way, and I think I about 100% agree. It's not about worrying that AI is going to take your job. It's understanding that it's people who know how to use AI that are going to take your job. The fact is, the output ultimately has to satisfy human needs. And so humans have to make the judgment. An AI can make 1,000,000 images, but if we only need one, we're not going to sort through 1,000,000 images. But we do need a process to find the image that fits the vision that we're looking for, to help tell the story. At the end of the day, it's not about satisfying robots. It's humans who will decide what is good or bad. Does it complete the vision? Does it entertain? Does it tell the story or represent the brand? It's humans who will make those decisions. And as a creative, our job will be more and more to be the director, the AI director, the creative AI director. A good friend of mine asked me a sincere question the other day. She said, "Don't we already have creative directors?" And the answer is yes. We have people who are called creative directors, and they're part of a hierarchy within an ad agency. A creative director is usually over art directors and so forth. But this is different. The creative AI director is going to be a more universal term, kind of just AI director. It really describes what creatives will be in the future. So it's not really the same thing, although the terminology is very similar. It's a way to get us from one point to another in the process of understanding our role as creatives. And sometimes language or titles help us understand. So tools be damned, it really is going to be about the skills we have up here, the understanding of what is good, what is bad, what tells the story, what is the vision. Our job ultimately is to create the vision. We can decide what tools we want to use. Old school tools, new school tools, it doesn't matter as long as it fits within your vision, the client's vision, your boss's vision, and of course the time frame and the productivity that's expected in this process. Believe me, I hear the screams and I'm with you. Using the words of productivity and creativity together, yeah, I know it's painful, but it's just the reality. Unlike the photographers at the turn of the century who told me they were quitting what they loved to do, what they loved with passion, they were quitting due to the advent and the proliferation of digital photography at the time. Don't be like them. If you embrace the new opportunities, like I did with digital, I took my photojournalism career, and because of digital, I was able to take it to a magazine and eventually an advertising career. I embraced the new opportunities that the new software brought. And you need to do the same thing with the new AI tools that are being developed right now, because it'll allow you to take your vision to places you never thought possible. I just recently bought a new house, and you know what? There's a perfect place for a darkroom. Now, I've been carrying some Bessler enlargers with me from house to house for years, and it just may be time to reopen up that black and white darkroom. Why not? The bottom line is it's about vision. How you get there as a creative is up to you. The decisions that you make along the way. But don't deny yourself all of the tools available to you in this ever-changing technological world. Don't be stubborn and deny yourself opportunities. And I'll see you in the next video.